Petition to make Friday the only day of the week. And while we wait for that, Kendall Jenner got exposed, Jake Paul got exposed, Keemstar got exposed, and Ethan Klein responded to Mike Ballsack. By the way, folks, a new brand is dipping its toes in the makeup market. It's Heinz Tomato Ketchup. Can't wait to see James Charles have a meltdown and try to keep this one. Irrelevant news. Kendall Jenner is getting backlash.
Kendall Jenner accused of a cultural appropriation over new 818 tequila campaign shot in Mexico.
Look, folks, just because Kendall Jenner is from an extremely wealthy area in Los Angeles known as Calabasas doesn't mean she can't roleplay as an agave farm worker in Mexico. In fact, it makes it even more authentic that she's just using it as an aesthetic.
Not Kendall disabling her comments on the post of her appropriating our culture for her tequila launch.
Look, folks, we gotta give Kendall Jenner a break. She's not as proficient at accountability as she is at looking over her shoulder for a picture.
Is Kendall Jenner really wearing braids and pretending to be a farm worker while colonizing tequila? It's a no from me.
Oh, come on, folks. We can't be this harsh with Kendall Jenner. She's not colonizing tequila. She's just using being a farm worker as an Instagram filter. And in other news, rapper G-Eazy got exposed by YouTuber RCL Beauty.
His friend was like, hey, are you coming to after party? And he was like, yeah. He's like, are you bringing anyone? He was like, let me think. He like points to me, he goes, and then continues pointing around, like trying to find like a girl, I guess, to take home.
Well, good for G-Eazy, folks. You know, very rarely you see people nowadays giving out red flags like this in public.
And he's like, do you want to come? And she was like, no.
Oh no, how dare anybody reject G-Eazy? He sounds like such a nice guy who's not at all sleazy. Hey, that rhymed. Meanwhile, in TikTok land, Dixon Melio and Josh Richards had a kind of an awkward moment on his podcast.
My mom is like a person who holds grudges.
Yeah.
You know that.
I do know that.
But she was like,
why?
Okay,
Why? Did she have a grudge against you?
Is this why you guys stopped being friends?
Oh, wait. All right. Well, what?
You can't skip past
Wait,
that.
all right. Explain.
Oh, this should be great, folks. I can't wait to find out this bit of information that will surely kill off the last bit of neurons I have left.
What is the grudge about?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do know. You know exactly what.
I mean, you're a smart guy, Dave.
I'm not that smart.
Josh is right. Dave is smart. He eats pizza for a living. But enough with the suspense, folks. Let's see what caused the rift between Josh and Dixie's family.
It was Father's Day and Josh walked in and didn't even look at my dad.
I totally said hey.
Makes sense why Josh was excommunicated from the D'Amelio family. You can't just go around committing cardinal sins like that and expect to be forgiven. It's straight to the seventh circle of hell for him. And in other TikTok news, Taylor Holder addressed racist things that he allegedly said.
I'm here to just simply clear up something that was incorrect of what I said. I knew from the start that I didn't say what they said that I said.
Okay, Taylor Holder didn't say what they said that he said. Then what is Taylor Holder saying that he said instead of what they said that he said? But more importantly, can cats fly? Find out at 7.
Whack-ass motherfucker. After watching that video, I hope you guys understand and now see that I clearly said whack in the video. It's a different angle to where you can see my mouth movement. Not only that, but also hear the word a little bit better.
I don't know about you folks, but I absolutely love stories with underwhelming conclusions. And now for something totally unrelated, Jeff would take address to all the people saying that he's milking his accident for views.
And as these motherfuckers say, I'm milking this shit. And I did this to sabotage David at this time and ride his downfall and just bandwagon him and try to cancel him. The sole purpose, I had to get this off my chest, otherwise I was going to go insane.
An influencer not clout chasing their own accident? That is absolutely preposterous, folks. And in other news, Jake Bathroom Stall, who is seen here being taken out of his crib by his numerous handlers, recently got into some trouble.
YouTuber Jake Paul appears to have driven through beaches protected for endangered turtle nesting.
57,000 signatures on this petition, folks. This is absolutely ridiculous. What do they even want out of Jake Paul?
Sign the petition to demand Puerto Rico charge Jake Paul for this crime as soon as possible.
Well, I guess he's going to be crying in his crib a little longer. Anyway, folks, Jake may have more reasons to cry because he was also recently challenged by boxer Tommy Fury.
This boxing shit, it's in my blood. I don't play boxing.
If you see this face, you already know what it is. Don't matter the amount. Don't be scared.
There is one rule in the entertainment business, and that rule is, folks, you never say no to Shaq.
The desperation is seeping through the pores of the Fury family. It's quite embarrassing. The heavyweight champion of the world is on Instagram talking about Jake Paul, begging me to fight his brother.
When are people going to understand that Jake Paul just can't fight anybody? They got to go through hip surgery first.
You come looking for me in Miami to try and find me in a gym. You know damn well I'm not in Miami. I'm in Puerto Rico. If you want to pull up here, I will gladly beat the fuck fuck out of you.
Now, I know a lot of people are confused why Jake Paul is challenging Tommy Fury, somebody who's so young, but folks, Jake Paul is actually challenging the future Tommy Fury, who's about 67 years old and has access to a time machine.
I already knocked out an NBA player, so leave Shaq out of this.
That's right, folks. Leave Shaq out of this one. Getting tossed around like a rag doll is not in Jake's plans right now.
And one last thing, Tommy. You should be more worried about your girl sliding into a bunch of dudes' DMs than you should be about fighting me.
Jake did share a screenshot of an alleged DM from Tommy Fury's girlfriend where she said,
"Might be coming to America later this year and have always been a fan of your videos. Maybe you can show me around."
That looks absolutely legit, folks, and there's no way that Jake would ever fake something like that.
Times must be hard when you're having to fake a DM. Photoshop is scary.
But Jake Paul, the most honest YouTuber in the history of YouTube, faking a DM just so he can win some social media points does not sound like him at all.
Clearly fake. The emoji used, it didn't come out till 2019 when she supposedly sent this message in 2018.
I know a lot of people are going to say that Jake was caught in 4K, but folks, it's not his fault that his brain is so small. And speaking of small, Logan Paul's little man, Mike Balsack, shared this on Twitter.
The effed up thing is I could vindicate myself from so much of the BS from the past couple of months, but I'm just too lazy for that type of energy. It's so corny to me. I just want to keep putting out funny or inspiring content, and if you like it, great. If you don't, that's great too.
Oh, well, thank goodness that Mike is finally going to drop the drama and move on with his life.
I could have made $100,000 and done tens of millions of views exploiting this ish on my YouTube channels, but I never said anything because what is the point? People are going to say what they want, and my audience is going to still ride regardless. I'd rather rate cheeseburgers.
Mike Balsack is going to stop addressing the situation any minute now, folks. Just give him some time.
But here's an effing nibble, and then I'm done. Me leaving Impulsive has never been even discussed. Me and Logan talk every day. Me and Amara talk every hour, and I was already doing a house project with Banks before any of this even happened.
I think he finally got it out of his system, folks. We are in the clear. Mike can go back to doing what he does best, which is...
So in short, I'll say this. Regardless of what the drama channels say or what you think you know about anyone in this space, you don't know ish. Stop wasting time thinking you have intimate knowledge of anything. Enjoy the content and keep it moving.
Okay, now it's over, folks. I'm sorry for all the false alarms. Mike just really didn't want to talk about it. That's why he keeps on doing it. Anyway, folks, as goes with Mike Balsack, he still had more to say. In this case, to Aiden Ross after DDG gave Aiden the word pass.
Aiden!
What?
You don't have the f***ing pass.
I don't?
I don't care what they
Dude, what are you doing, bro?
Pass, bro.
Isn't it amazing, folks? Mike gave up moving in with his ex-girlfriend, Lotta Rhodes, so he could go and become an RA at a content house.
I was f***ing in bed. I get a f***ing emergency phone call. I don't care who gives you the f***ing pass. You don't have the f***ing pass.
What he talking about?
No, f*** that shit.
You have
You see it. Don't f***ing do it.
Wait, come here. Come here.
Aiden, don't f*** up.
Well, it sounds like Mike Balsack found the role of a lifetime. He might actually end up helping someone.
I've ever said the word before. I mean, I've already told you guys. When I was like 11, 12 years old, back then, I would never say the hard R, but to a rap song I had before. I haven't said it in years, though. Like, literally, like, probably like 10, 11, 12 years, literally.
Well, maybe Big Mike can use Tommy Fury's time machine to go back in time and stop Aiden from saying it then, too. And in other Mike Balsack news, Ethan Klein responded to Mike responding to the Frenemies podcast, responding to the No Jumper podcast, where FaZe Banks and Mike Balsack talked about the Frenemies podcast.
Try to base the shit you're saying in at least some a bit of fact.
So is he's saying I need to research if it's possible for a brain to be made of hot dog meat?
If indeed Mike Balsack has hot dogs for brains, he has perhaps the smartest hot dogs with the highest IQ in the universe.
How about this, Mike?
But yeah,
you donate a piece of your brain and we analyze it. And if they prove it's not like Frankfurt's finest.
Okay, well, that's fine, but if it turns out that Big Mike's brain is just store-brand hot dogs, then it shouldn't really be a problem. We should accept all forms of hot dog brains. And in other news, Keemstar, who can be seen here in his natural rodent-like habitat, was recently exposed in a resurfaced video.
Because Keemstar made this big thing about how unprecedented it was that H3H3 mentioned his sponsors. And I guess G Fuel dropped Keemstar. Keemstar went after my sponsors. Keemstar tried to get G Fuel to drop me.
Oh, don't worry, folks. It's different when Keemstar goes after people's sponsors because hypocrisy isn't just a word for him, it's a way of life.
What I took offense to was when Keemstar attacked my children. Colin is like 8 years old, special needs kid at this point. And he was f***ing relentless about it. And Blade came back to me and said, I talked to Keem about it. And he said that if he wasn't talking shit about your son all the time, that somebody else would. And he's not going to back off.
Remember, folks, if you haven't bullied a special needs child at least once in your life, then you haven't lived a life worth going to hell for. Now a palate cleanser. any rate, defenders, make sure you like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you like, will be another meltdown that Mike Ballsack has on Aiden Ross's live stream. Tell me in the comments down below what do you think. I'm going to know. Check out these videos right here. They're good too. Make sure you're drinking lots of water, not taking life too seriously, and staying away from stupid people. Have an amazing day, defenders. I love all of you. Peace.